the state principal. In fact, in law, but under God, is a child of the Most High. First in line, first in time to the entitlement document of title, agent, registered, bond, and trust, state of Louisiana, the living soul, in for life and emotion. Civilian, state, national, unalienable, inalienable. I am retained to the Most High. I am. Petitions to release. Or transfer an assignment. Securities account. Taxpayer account. To trustees. Administrators, administering a trust, fiduciaries, public servants, notice agent, notice the principal, notice agent, peace inhabitant, be transferred and assigned to the United States Treasury, non-belligerent, non-combatant. On behalf of Jason Collins and trust about thy rights, protection and payment, full accord and the satisfaction, tender of payment.
All right, peace.
Give us one patent right done in good faith. And with clean hands, sound right conscience, forgive reason, clean spirit, no recourse.
Greetings, everyone. I don't always look at the screen, but hi.
With prejudice. So beneficiary. Use. And benefit.
Hi.
Credit. Executive entitlement order. Cease and desist and stand down. 12 U.S.C. 411. 19 subsection A. Invoking all unalienable rights and acknowledging and accepting.
I appreciate you, J-Boy.
Stand down.
Boy.
CCSC
21.
3331 3332 3333. As well as all other.
This is so important. It doesn't say statute. It doesn't say code. It doesn't
I
say
just
ordinance.
did.
It doesn't say rules. It doesn't say regulation.
I appreciate
It
you,
says
J-Boy.
the law. And here later on, I'm actually
21.
going to show you
appreciate you, brother.
to the best of my ability. And I do further swear that I do not advocate,
You're
nor
welcome.
am I a member of any political party or organization that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States or of this state by force or violence, and that during such time as I am in a position, I will not advocate nor become a member of any political party or organization that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United
I don't
States
own the
or of
rights to
this
the
state
background,
by
but I
force
hold
or
all
violence.
rights to
So
the
help me
background.
God. Again, the so help me God is not a requirement. The freedom of religion, you don't have to put this on there. So it's missing the so help me God thing. Understand that they don't have to have the so help me God thing on there. But if it's in all capital letters, ladies and gentlemen, that is not English, and rightfully it's just as though it was never there. Okay, and if any of this isn't filled out properly with the full legal name, first, middle, and last name, then it is void. Okay, now with the Nebraska revised statute 11101, it's not requiring them to do any extra activity here. If any such officer is not required to give bond, the oath shall be filed in the office of the Secretary of State's office. So they're telling you exactly where you need to go in order to get that oath of office, or of the clerk of the county, or the city, village, or other municipal subdivisions of which he shall be an officer. So, for example, if they're a member of the city,
You're Christian.
looking at the county,
I'm all of the above.
City clerk's office or the village clerk's office.
Don't limit yourself to one thing.
If they're a member of the county, you might be looking for the clerk of the
I'm all of it. I get to enjoy all.
Records to get their oath of office, okay? Or other municipal subdivisions of which he shall be an officer. This is great. When they're talking about other municipal subdivisions, municipal is short for municipal.
But at least you believe in a greater creator.
These municipal corporations are creating municipal code, and they're trying to affix the municipal code to you and make it as though you have violated the code. Well, if you have violated the code, who cares? Who cares? At what point did you subject yourself and enter into a contract with a municipal corporation with a private DUNS number, an EIN number, and a tax identification number to be subject to their municipal code? They're subverting the United States Constitution using their foreign.
I said you're Christian.
Against you, their foreign.
I can't tell you what to do, but I wouldn't limit myself to one thing. So I'm all of the above. I could enjoy all of it. Christian, Muslim, all of it. Hi.
On behalf of the municipal corporation, all right, and they're saying that you violated.
But at least you believe in a greater power. I appreciate it.
To usurp power otherwise not delegated to them in the Constitution to drag you into a foreign jurisdiction and persecute you under some benign statute, code, city ordinance, rule, and regulation that doesn't apply to you. That's what grants rise to you issuing
That's all that
an
matters.
invoice. Okay, because if they're going to treat you like an employee, understand under the Treaty of Ghent, Article 10, slavery has been abolished. So if they don't have a contract proving that you knowingly, willingly, and intentionally under your full, limited, unlimited commercial, civil, professional, and criminal liability entered into a contract with them, with full disclosure being had, then they're treating you like an employee, but they fucked up because they never discussed how much precious value time commodity is worth.
I study a little law and I document everything on here. I'm writing books.
A true bill to an owing, and
this is an autobiography.
Okay, and this is not conjecture. This is not hyperbole. I'm talking about
Except
how you can smoke these people on a multitude of ways. And so, with that said, we've been through the Title V. Now we just hit Nebraska's. I want to bring this up because remember in Title V, they tell you that this does not affect the other oaths that they're required to take by law.
I accept you.
By law.
I'm going to have to check out what you're doing over there.
So we have the Nebraska oath
I need
of
someone
office,
to promote
and then
me.
we get into the oath of office.
I need
state and
promotion.
political subdivision employees.
And
Notice
I need like a secretary,
employees, not public
someone
servants.
to
Employees.
make phone
Why?
calls and
Because
things of
they're
that
running
nature.
a business, ladies and gentlemen. This is just business. They're operating under the administrative branch. The administrative branch is lodged underneath the executive branch. Under the Reorganization Act of 1871, they are all ministerial administrators, administrative law clerks, administrative law judges.
Subscribe to
They're all
yours.
operating on behalf
Okay.
of
Whenever I'm finished, I'll subscribe.
corporations, all right? And they are duty bound.
Try to private message me. We could do business.
It says
I'll add you on to my business.
The law. Well, the law is. Okay, and the law is very clear. So, for the oath of office, state and political subdivisions, employees form. All persons in Nebraska, with the exceptions
Hello
of
to everyone that's coming on.
and judicial officers.
Have a great day, J Boy 21. Have a wonderful day.
Article 15, Section 1 of the Constitution of Nebraska. So they're telling
Well, that's
you
what I need.
they're exempt
That's
from
what
this
I
part.
want
The executive, judicial,
to prosper a
and
little bit
legislative
further.
branch is exempt from this section.
We have a lot of
This
businesses
applies
going to be coming
to
out.
those municipal corporations and the counties and
We're going to have a lot of businesses that's going to be coming out.
and so on and so
And
forth.
I need,
And the county
I
clerk.
want someone to
And then
make
when we get
phone
into the
calls,
executive and judicial
and in
officers
return,
and
you get a
legislators, I'll show
percentage
you
of
that
the
as well.
business.
So they have to take this oath. It's the same oath that we just went through. Now, oath of office, false statement penalty. There's a penalty if they make a false statement. How might we be able to articulate that they made a false statement? Well, if they didn't use their full legal name, ladies and gentlemen, did they make a false oath? Did they make a false statement? Yes, they did. If any false statement is made in taking either of the oath prescribed in Section 11-101 and 11-101.01, the person making such false statement shall be deemed guilty of a Class 4 felony. What does that mean? Well, when they're convicted of a Class 4 felony, they can never hold public office again, which means
You'd
they
have
can
to
never
get
hurt
consent
you
from
or
your
I or
guardian.
any of our friends and family anymore. They will forever be removed from holding any office of trust or profit.
You have to
person
get consent
convicted of
from your
perjury
guardian.
and taking the oath as prescribed in either Section 11-101 or Section 11-101.01 shall hold any non-elected position, job, or office for the state of Nebraska or any political subdivision thereof where the remuneration of such position, job, or office is paid in whole or in part by public
Then we got to
money,
see how good your
public
work
trust
is.
funds, or funds of the state of Nebraska, meaning they're getting paid by the Nebraska Treasury.
But I could tell
or of any
you good.
political subdivision thereof. All right, super important.
I believe in you.
Oath affirmation effect. Whenever an oath is required by Section 11,
You're gonna only get better with time. Remember that.
The affirmative,
Get better
the
with time.
affirmation of a
Just keep
person
at it.
consciously scrupulous of taking an oath shall have the same effect. Okay, so in other words, when we're talking in equity, just because they didn't take the
Have a
right
good
oath,
day.
equity disregards the form and the technicalities of the form, and equity looks at the oath of office as an act to. Equity imputes an intention to fulfill an obligation.
Yes,
so whether or not they took the right oath or not, we can still hold them
Have a good day.
accountable. All right. What
Yeah,
exactly is the oath? When they take the oath, now we have prima facie evidence of their intent when they violate the law, because when they take this oath, they swear or affirm that they know the law, that they're going to uphold the law, that they're not going to overthrow the Constitution, that they're not going to engage in mixed war against the people, that they're not going to engage in sedition or insurrectious behavior, that they're not going to work with other corporations or fascist entities or communist parties to overthrow the Republican form of government that we the people have created, okay? And yet they're doing it, all right? And so this is how we disqualify them and we hold them accountable. All right, we have to know these things in order to do so. Now, Title 28. We are going to be in Title 28 because this is the judicial oath of office that's required for the judges and any employee that is an officer of the court, okay? So this would be your bailiffs, your sheriffs. I presume that your chief of police or anybody testifying as an agent on behalf of the municipality, because remember, they're in the Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 venues and Article 4 military tribunals, all right? So they're all officers of the court. They're all being paid by the same entity, all right? So Title 28, and we want to look at organization of courts, 1 through 482. Let's see. Department of Justice, Part 2, 501 through 599B. We want to go to, let's make sure, I think,
28.
And we're going to go to oath of office in Title 28, United States Code 544, Oath of Office, Chapter 35, United States Attorneys. Okay? Now, the Attorney General is the general of all attorneys that operate underneath him, and they're all representing either the state of or they're representing the United States of the Attorney General's office. And it tells you right here, each United States Attorney, Assistants, United States Attorney, and Attorney appointed under Section 543 of this title before taking office shall take an oath to execute faithfully his duty. All right? 545, residence. Each United States Attorney shall reside in where? The district for which he is appointed, except that these officers of the District of Columbia, the Southern District of New York, and the Eastern District of New York may reside within 20 miles thereof. Each Assistant United States Attorney shall reside in the district for which he or she is appointed or within 25 miles thereof. The provisions of this subsection shall, which means must, shall not apply to any of the United States attorneys or assistant United States attorneys appointed for the Northern Mariana Islands who at the same time is serving in the same capacity in another district pursuant to an order from the Attorney General or his designee. A United States attorney or an assistant United States attorney may be assigned dual or additional responsibilities that exempt such officer from the residency requirement in the subsection for a specific period as established by the order and subject to renewal. One second. We're going to jump back to organization. So now we're in Title 28, United States Code Part 1, Organization of Courts. We are looking for 453, Title 28, United States Code, Chapter 21, General Provisions applicable to courts and judges. Now remember, these are the lesser courts. Okay, these were created under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, and they are the lower inferior courts. And I'm going to prove that to you here in a little bit. So we need to look at what their oath of office is. Courts always open, powers unrestricted by expiration of sessions. Oath of office. Here's the oath of office for your judges and effectively for officers of the court. Each justice or judge of the United States shall take the following oath or affirmation before performing the duties of his office. I, and then it's their first, middle, and last name, full legal name. Some of them don't have middle names, so first and last name. Do solemnly swear or affirm, obviously, they don't have to swear if it's against their religion. They can affirm that I will administer justice without respect to persons and do equal right to the poor and to the rich, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all duties incumbent upon me as, and then this would be like the lower district court judge, county court judge, whatever it is, under the Constitution and the laws of the United States, so help me God. If they don't have this oath, ladies and gentlemen, they do not fill the office, okay? So this is another oath that they have to have. This is Title 28, United States Code, Chapter 21, subsection 453, Oath of Justices and Judges. Okay, this is how we disqualify the judges and justices, all right? Title 28, United States Code 454, Practice of Law by Justices and Judges. Any justice or judge appointed under the authority of the United States who engages in the practice of law is guilty of a high misdemeanor. Ladies and gentlemen, when they're moving the court, when they're telling you, okay, well, if you're not going to plead, I'll enter a plea for you, that is practicing law from the bench, and that is a high misdemeanor, and they're banking on the fact that you don't know this stuff, all right? So you're going to charge them up under Title 28, United States Code 455, and the grounds for impeachment is Title 28, United States Code 454, okay? And they're practicing law from the bench, which which is a high misdemeanor. All right, not to mention that they're an administrative law
454.
judge. So they're operating on behalf of a foreign principal trying to usurp power otherwise not delegated to them. And the easy way to prove that is there's no man or woman standing before the court claiming that I've caused harm, damage, injury, or loss, and I believe none exist. I believe no evidence to the contrary exists. And right there, you've got them on high misdemeanors, okay? This means say goodbye to that multi-million-dollar retirement that they enjoy. All right, because they tried to usurp power, otherwise not delegated to them, and drag you into a foreign jurisdiction under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, under Article 4 of the Constitution, which is a military tribunal. All right, so that's grounds one. We're going to get to how you impeach them. I'm just talking about impeachable offenses at this point. Number 28, our next point here, Title 28, United States Code 455. Disqualification of justices, judges, or magistrate judges. All right, don't let this menagerie of words fool you, because they're not judges. There hasn't been a judge in this country since 1791. They're all ministerial administrators administering a bankruptcy for profit and gain to extort, steal from you, deprive you of your life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and the enjoyment of property. And they've been doing so since 1871, but it really got ramped up in 1933 when they did the abrogation of the Gold Clause. Okay, so let's look and see how we remove any presumption or assumption that they have any legitimate authority. And this is how we're going to do it. Any justice, judge, or magistrate, judge of the United States shall disqualify himself in any proceeding in which his impartiality might reasonably be questioned. Now, in every case, ladies and gentlemen, they're required to be in compliance with Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code, and the Internal Revenue Manual, and they're required on every case to file a 1099-R showing their financial interest in the matter. Okay, in every case, while they're administering the Chapter 11 bankruptcy and trying to usurp power otherwise not delegated to them and drag you into a foreign jurisdiction, it's all for commerce. It's all to administer the bankruptcy. You're the creditor, and they need your credit, and they're hypothecating your credit into existence, and they need you to claim the trust. They need you to claim the name, act as the trustee, so they can hold you liable as surety and being derelict in your duty to settle the account. But the problem is, you were never fully availed of what they were doing, but now you are, okay? And so it's their duty to disqualify themselves and to keep themselves apprised of any facts that might lend to the fact that their impartiality is being called into question, like whether that be financial or otherwise. He shall also disqualify himself in the following circumstances. See, we're not even supposed to have to tell these people that they need to disqualify themselves. They're supposed to be able to do their own due diligence and realize that they can't do what they're doing and disqualify themselves in the first instance, but they're not doing that because the American people fell asleep at the wheel. So we're going to assist you and help you in making that decision. Where he has a personal bias or prejudice concerning a party. This means if they represented you in the past as an attorney, they know who you are, maybe they like you, maybe they don't like you, they must recuse themselves, okay? Or if you're married into their family somehow, or dating their daughter, whatever the case may be, they need to remove themselves. Or personal knowledge of disputed evidentiary facts concerning the proceedings, meaning somehow or another they became witnesses or they know something about the case that was outside of the case being filed, but they have this knowledge and they're supposed to recuse themselves because of that, all right, to make sure that they remain non-biased, disinterested third parties set to rule on the facts, all right? Now, in administrative proceedings, which is under the executive branch, ladies and gentlemen, again, that is a foreign jurisdiction. 2, where in private practice he served as a lawyer in a matter in controversy or a lawyer with whom he previously practiced law served during such association as a lawyer concerning the matter, or the judge or such lawyer has been a material witness concerning it. Okay, so in other words, if the alleged judge, who's a ministerial administrator, operating as an administrative law judge or administrative law clerk, dragging you into a foreign jurisdiction, making you subject or trying to subject you to the foreign laws or foreign statutes, codes, city ordinances, rules, and regulations of a foreign corporation, a corporate entity, right? And they're violating the Constitution, because you're not supposed to be drug into any of those matters in the first instance without a actual
Article
man
3.
or woman alleging that you've caused harm, damage, loss, or a hardship. All right, and that's the Sixth Amendment, your right to face your accuser. Okay, they cannot usurp power and suck a man into this jurisdiction. They can only deal with fictions, and that's why these courts, these Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 venues, military jurisdiction under Article 4 courts, are in fact creating a constructive trust, all right? And they're getting you to come in and claim ownership of this thing that they created in REM and trying to make you the